Hey there, learners. Welcome back. As you well know by this point, the handout is linked in the description below. If you would like to follow along, you can print that out or draw that out. So there's an example that I want you to come back and try to see if you can do after we learn how to do number 2 together. Okay, so our objective today is graphing the standard form of a linear equation. Standard form means ax plus by is equal to c. So I guess you could do that by plugging in some XY values and getting a number or whatever. But what I really like to do, the simple way, is to go ahead and convert this over to slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. And what we have been learning is we've been doing this with an acronym called Mr. D. The M right here, the M stands for move the X to the opposite side of the equal sign using the opposite side. So this is positive 6x. Over here, it'll be minus 6x. The next step, R, is simply to rewrite. And when you rewrite this, guys, please don't forget that negative 2 belongs to that y. So this is negative 2y is equal to, we put the minus 6x up front, and then this 2 is positive, and it will go in the back. After that, the D stands for divide. You want to divide by whatever coefficient is with the y. So in this case, it's negative 2. Divide by negative 2 and divide by negative 2. You want to do it to absolutely everything. Negative 2 divided by negative 2 is 1y, or just y. A negative 6 divided by negative 2 is a positive 3. Don't forget the x. And positive 2 divided by negative 2 is negative 1. So now we can go ahead and start graphing using slope-intercept form. In my mind, the B stands for this begins on the y-axis. So I'm going to come over here to the y-axis where it's negative 1 and put my first coordinate point. After that, when you begin to look at the notes over here, it talks about rise over run. For something to rise, though, that is if you look up and down, the axis that would go up or down, rise or fall, would be the y-axis. So technically, and in a lot of sciences, they use the change in y over run is the change in x. So rise over run is the change in x. So you just take this number in front of the x because that's how it's changing. And it's changing by 3. You can turn any whole number into a fraction by putting a 1 under it. So what this means is from the coordinate point that we made over here at this negative 1, you are going to go positive 3 in the y direction. 1, 2, 3. And over 1 in the x direction and put a coordinate point. And you can do it again. Positive 1, 2, 3, and over 1. So then when you get a couple of coordinate points going on and you feel comfortable enough to go ahead and grab your ruler, then you'll just connect the dots and it makes your line. Voila!